Hey there, beautiful people. Good morning from Dhaka, Bangladesh. It's around 5:20 here in Dhaka morning, and this is the last day officially in Bangladesh for 2022. It's been sort of like a mixed sort of year, mixed emotions, some good, some bad. I think it was a little bit low towards the end for me. So I got few fragrances this year, and I did cover many fragrances. This is gonna be, I think, perhaps the last one of them all that I purchased. And this is a cheapie. This is a fragrance I did not plan to buy or pick up. I just saw it randomly at one shop. I thought, like, let's create content. This is like a $15-16 cologne, not very expensive, the house of Lomani. And these fragrances, I think, are made in UAE. I'm not quite sure where they make this. I reviewed few Lomanis before. I don't know where they're made. I never check. Wait, I don't check. But anyway, so this is House of Lomani, and the fragrance, it's called Mr. Lomani, and this is called Spore. Yeah, Spore. Very cool box, and then I'll let you know why I got it. Apart from creating a content, this is actually a very nice fragrance, underrated fragrance for a cheapie. Okay, these are made in by Paris. I don't know. These are made in Paris, I think, France. I could be wrong. Yeah, made in France. It says here. So much writing. So I will show you the presentation. The bottle is not perhaps very fancy, but the fragrance smells quite nice on me, and I think it's a very nice sort of like a fresh fragrance for summertime on a budget. So for you're doing good and you are also trying to survive the year end, and winter perhaps started in your part of the city or the world. If you don't get any winter whatsoever, I know some of you do not get any winter. Countries like where I used to live, Malaysia, that no winter. So if you don't get winter, get to a country perhaps someday. I really pray that you get some cold weathers. It's really nice. So here you go. The box is quite big compared to the bottle, and it is how it looks. It looks like a very retro sort of like a racing car. Is it a McLaren? What is that car? Take a look at that. It says Sport Mr. Lomani. I don't know, by Lomani. Okay, EDT concentration. This is how that box looks. Side looks like that, kind of like a James Bond thing going on. And then the name is very like a sort of like a Drakkar Noir in the vintage packaging or something like that. So it's, I don't know when this was released. Okay, to be honest, if you do know, please put a comment below in the comment section and let others know. I did not find this in Fragrantica. This is how the bottle looks. Definitely on the cheaper side. It feels heavy. It feels good. It reminds me of Ajmal silver shade, that a bottle. It has a silver coloring. It's glass. You can see the juice level, and it has a red atomizer, which sort of like represents racing car. And this is a tag that's tied on the bottle. The bottle doesn't really evoke any sense of high class or luxury, because it's a cheap fragrance and it looks like a cheap bottle. It reminds me sort of like maybe Bogart presentations. The cap, it's plastic, good quality. It doesn't feel cheap. Good plastic. Here's the atomizer. Reminds me of Ferrari's Vumo. I bought that like 2016. Great fragrance that was. I kind of sold it off. I do miss it a lot. So let's show you the sprayer. You can see. I mean, like, if you put it against the light, I think you will be able to see the juice level in there. Okay, it definitely shows. So let's spray this sprayer. Let's see how the sprayer works. Small burst. Okay, nothing crazy going on here, but it does work. So it clicks onto place, but it wobbles a little bit. Yeah, it does. So it doesn't really like stay at one place, but it's okay. So let it settle down, and I paid $16 for it. I saw it at one counter. I'm like, what's that box? Because I couldn't find anything that I want to buy. Last year, years before, there were a lot of fragrances which were on my wish list, and I sort of like got them year end. Every year end I go and buy like one final fragrance. Some of you like one final fragrance. This year I could not find that much fragrance to buy, to be honest. So I ended up buying some Jaguar fragrances, some cheapies, and then I went to eat, spend some money on food. So yeah, that's sort of a year. So this one, when I smelled it on the paper, it literally, like, I was like pretty sure I just want to like take a look at, try it. I'm never gonna take on the paper. This smelled pretty good. I mean, it smelled very citrusy. I'm like, whoa! I tried at least 18 fragrances yesterday, day before yesterday, and then the day before that I tried like 30 fragrances. So I did not smell that many fragrances that sort of inspired me. This one didn't inspire me, but it smelled kind of nice. It reminded me of the early days of collection when I used to go to different shops and I had like a limited budget, and then I would look for something new, something on the budget to review, and I'm like, wow, that's nice. This one is that kind of fragrance. So let me tell you, I did not find this on Fragrantica, but there's a site, I think Amazon or somewhere, I'm not sure where, someone put notes breakdown. So they say This scent opens with citrusy top notes of smoky bergamot and crisp lemon peel. Okay, there's the citrus I was talking about. Then pine, caraway, fruity, and green notes add more character to the sweetness. Okay, then there's herbal, bright, resinous, and earthy aromas. The heart features like a classic woody trio of cedar, guaiac, sandalwood, alongside spicy cardamom, sweet orange, lily of the valley, and intensely narcotic jasmine. Oh, wow. I couldn't read any more after that because I did not click on the full story. So perhaps there was a base note there. So I'm not going to be so bothered about that, but let me tell you what I get. It's not, those notes sounds fancy, but this is not a very fancy fragrance. What this one opens up with a sharp lemon note, which is kind of like a soapy, like those hand soaps that you have, and they have very fruity flavors, very lemony, very sharp. So definitely you can tell, like sometimes people may say this could be floor cleaning material, like Fabuloso or something like that. So people may get that citrusy, synthetic lemon peel vibe, which may not be the highest class. The opening is very synthetic, very, in a way, rubbery. I don't know why that. On the paper, it smells like kind of like it smells like the price tag. Okay, it smells cheap. But if you let that settle on the paper for about 5 to 10 minutes, it morphs into something more nice, citrusy, a little bit of a not that powdery, but it gets like a musky, sweet, orangey, very lovey-dovey fragrance. And on a random day, if you pass by a guy who's wearing this like for 1 hour or so, you may actually like the smell of it. It smells very nice, clean, fresh, lemony, kind of like a experience. And for a summer day, like with a sunny day, this would really work well. And if you're on a budget, this is a great fragrance to buy, to be honest. You may get compliments. Longevity on this was not crazy. 3 hours. After that, it was gone. I'm not mad because it's a cheapie. In your country, perhaps you can get it for $3 in a discounter site or Marshalls. Okay, that would be great. But mostly, the racing vibe. Mostly people really hate, like reviewers. Mostly they hate. Mark hates. Rob Zoid hates sporty fragrances because sporty fragrances, to him, according to him, it's nothing more than lemon water or bergamot or grapefruit. That's about it. I think nothing much play going on. Some of the sport fragrances were good, but mostly I would agree with him. Like they are sort of like they have to make a sport fragrance, so they make a sporty fragrance. But mostly sporty fragrances do not do justice to sporty fragrances, because you expect a lot more fresh vibes from sport or a good longevity. On most parts, sporty fragrances suck in the longevity, This one, I would not be mad. I mean, if you paid like, $15, $16 for it, and if you can actually liberally spray it, but do not spray too much, you'll get like this nasty sort of like opening of the synthetic alcoholic vibe, which will maybe disturb your nostrils, especially if you have a cold. But I would say 5 sprays adequate, 2 on the side, 1 on the back of your neck, and perhaps 2 on each arm. That will be really good for a 3 hours application. You can decant the stuff and you can spray in the middle of the day, but do not spray where people are around. Go spray outdoors, walk around, just come on, do the magic, then as the nature, like to dry it down. Then you get in the building after 5-10 minutes, then you're a pleasant guy. So this fragrance is nothing really crazy going on here, but I like the way it smells. It reminds me of some fragrances at times, some of the Versace perfumes, some Lacoste fragrances, some designer fragrance, to be honest, but not very high class ones like Chanel or Dior. But it smells like your run-in-the-mill, sporty, fresh, lime, like a little bit floral, woody, ambery, musky kind of fragrance. This is what this is, but it's a very simple fragrance, simple citrusy perfume that you can wear on daily basis. Okay, so if you see it somewhere, I mean, think of my review. Hey, Joy Amin reviewed this. Did anybody else review it? I don't know. But if you see this Lomani Sport, Mr. Lomani, perhaps if you like fragrance like Acqua di Gio, Chanel Allure Sport, or something like Lacoste Blanc or Lacoste Essential, or perhaps Hugo Boss's some of the citrusy ones, you may like. This is a cheaper version, I would say, Chanel Allure Sport Cologne or Cologne Sport. Okay, this is what it feels like in the end to my nose in the dry down, and it's a very nice casual scent. It doesn't have that much development. 3 hours lifespan, that's it. It's not a must buy. If you see it somewhere, give it a try. If you're on a budget and let's say TJ Maxx in your state's area, they're selling this for $5. Grab it. You'll not regret it. You can use it as a room air freshener, whatever. It smells really good for that too. Okay, so overall, Lomani Mr. Sport, this fragrance I'll give you like a 6 out of 10 for what it is. And it's a nice little perfume that I bought year-end. Nothing crazy. Perhaps I'll gift it to someone. Okay, have a nice day. I'll see you soon. Time for another review. Bye bye.